Alright, I've done my last row of my pillow. The front is the same length as the back. And this is just a little pillow. It's not a drop stitch. And what I did on the back, I did half of it in the honeycomb. And then half of it, I did it in a just single tuck. And why? I wanted to see what it looked like. Now, if I ever do this again, I will not use heel plate 2 because it makes the stitches too tight, tighter than I like working on it. So I'm just going to do a simple cast off. I don't know how I do that, but I pull them all forward. I'll lay the yarn on, just laying it across. Now, I'll hold it lightly with my pinky as I hold it still, and I just crochet across. And it's just a slip stitch if you're familiar with crocheting. If you're not, you push the latch tool through the stitch, the live stitch, grab the working yarn and pull it through both loops. Through the live stitch, through both loops. Careful not to drop the stitch, the loop that's on the latch tool. Up, grab, through 2. And this is another reason why I won't use key plate 2 on this size yarn. Aha! Careful of drop stitches, which I only picked up a tiny bit of that stitch. So I'm gonna rehang it and restitch it. There we go. Now there's several ways you could do a cast off. You could do, just as long as it's not a real tight one. Okay. I happen to like the crochet cast off. Now, if you get them, if they're real tight, like that one is, what you can do is undo these, because they're already done. Oops, this one wasn't. That's why you have to watch it, and just pull it through. Now, here's the tight one. To get it onto the latch tool, you come up from below, and just transfer it onto the latch hook. Okay? And pull it through. Again, transfer to the latch hook and pull it through. Okay? That's handy when your stitches are real tight. You can do a knit 2 pass over, and then knit 1 pass over. But I like this one. This is the one I use the most of the time because it gives a nice edge to it, and it's the same type of edge that the other bottom has. Yeah, because these are way too tight for me. But it's just a small pillow. Each one I'm just going to stuff. It's not going to have a pillow form. Now, if you like holding your finger up against it, just take these off so you get your hand in there. Just make sure you don't take off the one that you're working with. And you don't want to do tight. And then I'll just seam the inside and stuff it. I'll be back with the finished product. If you want to add a border after the fact, after an item is finished, okay, you would take your yarn, cast on however many stitches you want for your border, And I think I want 14. I like a fat border. Now this one I could fold over afterwards if I didn't want to do any, if I just wanted to do the stockinette stitch. I could do the rib stitch. I could do the garter stitch. You could do the whatever stitch you'd like, as long as it forces it to lay flat. Okay. Alright, now to add a border, you take your piece of work, with the wrong side facing you. Okay. Yeah. You want to add it, and at the bottom, so it's going to be like this. Take your corner and rehang it on the machine. Okay. Now put the needles into work position with the latches open. Hang your weights. Now I'm not doing a mitered corner at this point. If you want to do a mitered corner, you'd start off with one stitch without hanging these yet, and add every other row, add a stitch until you have the desired amount of stitches on your machine. Okay. Now what you're going to be doing is going to knit 2 rows. Add, you're going to skip a stitch and add the next stitch. Knit 2 rows. Skip a stitch, add the next stitch. And do that for as long as up to the sides. Now if you want it ribbed, you'll do like 10 stitches and then rib down. If you want to do the seed stitch, you would knit 1 row, do your seed stitch, then knit back, do your seed stitch, and add your loop from your main piece of work. Okay. Now, if you forget to put it on, which fortunately I did not, just take that stitch out and hang it. And then re-stitch that stitch. This is the similar method to the log cabin I did. It's also your seamage go. Same technique. Skip and add. Okay. Now I'm going to do a box corner on this one. Like I said, if you need to see them, if you want to do a mitered corner, I've got a video on that. But this is just going to be a box corner. Now, if you wanted to put a ruffle on there, you would do the same method, but you would do short rowing. You would shorten all these, on, you know, like every one for a ruffle. I don't want to do a ruffle on this one, but I will do one a little bit later because I want to do that a purse with ruffles on it. Okay, now I'll be back when I get to this edge to show you what I do. Which all I'm going to do is knit to this edge, cast off. Okay, then I'll go to this end. So I want them done evenly. I'll on one end. I'll decide when I get there because this is just a haberdash pillow. It's going to go weird. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I just knitted the last row and I hung the last stitch, and what I'll do here is I'll just cast it off and close it here, and I'll be back.